What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spotlight by CG Ruthless, man. Let's welcome my special guest. We got another Southern Mississippi prospect, but this time he plays running back, man. Let's welcome my guy, Rodrigues Clark, man. What is going on, my guy?
Man, not much. How you doing today?
Oh, nothing much, bro. It's a great day, like they say, bro. But for you, man, it must be a great week, man, because you're weeks away from going to the NFL draft, and it's got to be one of those emotional moments, bro. But for those people who are not familiar with you, man, tell me about yourself, man.
Well, I'm Rodrigues Clark. I'm known by Drake. I'm from Starville, Mississippi. I played ball at Memphis coming out of high school, won the championship with them. I played with them for like 3 years. Then I transferred to Southern Miss. I'm the oldest child, or the oldest boy. My mom got like 4 kids. My dad got 7, and I'm the oldest boy. I'm a hardworking dude, and I'm a great football player. I feel like.
I'm pretty sure, man. But so what got you into football in the early part, man?
Well, just playing football in the front yard with my cousins, and really my friends. They had a big influence on my life growing up, especially like my older cousins, just seeing them playing ball and knowing that my time was gonna come. And once I finally got in the shoes and started making plays, it kind of just took off from there.
Yeah, once you hang around with your friends and they play that kind of sport, man, it's something that you want to stick around with. You want to fit in with people. That's just how, that's just how it is. You play the street ball and all that stuff. So it's got to be one of those kind of reasons why Barry got you into football, right?
Yeah, and then most of my family, they love football. Like my dad, like he watches football every time it come on, and once I got my mom to be able to just come watch me play, she started to like love football way more also. So like we a football family for sure.
So what other position did you play before running back?
When I was maybe like 10 years old, I played like tight end and linebacker. And then like I had set a year out from football just because my dad was like, you ain't really just taking it serious. You having fun out here with your friends, but you really need to be trying to lock in on the field. So he had helped me out a year. And once I set out the year, I came back. I kind of found out about Adrian Peterson, and I've been at running backs ever since, running back and linebacker.
Well, I can see why you got that little bit of background linebacker because you can break tackles. You average almost 5 yards a carry last season at Southern Miss.
Yeah, and it was ugly last season, man. But like I know I'm just like way better than what y'all seen last season, and I just can't wait to be able to get an opportunity, with a new team and new guys, and just be able to show everybody who Rodrigues Clark really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So what were the offers like in high school besides Memphis? Like, what were the offers you were getting before?
I had interest in like a lot of schools like Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I want to say LSU was interested at one point in time, but I had like Memphis, UAB. I can't really just remember all the offers that I had, but I know like once I had got the offer from Memphis, me and Coach Norvell, we had locked in, and I committed like verbally on the spot. So I've been locked in with Memphis since like the upcoming of my senior season in high school.
Okay, so when you went to Memphis, what was the environment like, and how did you enjoy playing over there?
Man, when I went to Memphis, it was kind of like when I first went down there, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do this. But like once I got down there and kicked it with the my teammates or whatever, like they kind of introduced me, like the older guy that introduced me to the city or whatever, and really showed me the in and outs of how Memphis work and like the schedule of Memphis, how we gonna be playing ball or whatever. But it was cool. It was real cool, man. Once I went out there and just went out there and got in the pads and stuff, it was a different story. Like I fell in love with it, and like it was kind of hard to bring me back to Mississippi.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You were there for 3 years, and at least you got some of the experience to go over there. Then you transfer to go right back home to your home state of Mississippi. So it had to be nice to not be too far, 2.5 hour drive from over there, huh?
Yeah, and then the reason why I had went to Southern Miss because when I first went there, Coach Norvell had Coach Hall on his staff or whatever. So I was kind of locked in with Coach Hall, Coach Norvell, and Coach Jones. And once I found out that Coach Hall really wanted me to come to Southern Miss 2021, I want to say. It was 2022 or 2021. It was one of those seasons or whatever. But he wanted me to come, and I kind of just stayed in Memphis because I was more loyal to them. But then it kind of like just clicked in my head, like, man, you need to be trying to do what's best for you, you know what I'm saying, and take advantage of your opportunities. So it was one reason I had went to Southern Miss. And because, I know Jaleel Clemens, he was already out there, and a lot of guys I had graduated with in the class of 2019, they was out there at Southern Miss, and they had like a little cooler year. And I was like, man, it won't be too far to travel for my people and stuff like that. So I had
Oh
locked
yeah,
in
at
with Southern
least you
Miss.
got
Yeah.
to be a lot. Wait, my bad.
Yeah, you good. You good. I was done talking.
Nah, just my web's a little kind of slow up a little bit. That's why I kind of like feel a little bit behind. But yeah, it has to be a nice experience just to go right back home to Mississippi, where you grew up from. And what was it like learning from Frank Gore Jr., man? Because it had to be pretty interesting to play behind him, then become the starter eventually, right?
Man, it was a crazy experience just because Frank Gore, he knows everything. He knows a lot about football. His dad is a Hall of Famer. It was a great experience, man. Like, to just be able to see what he know. He teach me this, and I kind of like tell him what I know or whatever. But it was a great experience, no selfishness in the room. It was all great vibes.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with somebody who's a son of a legend, right? So it's
Right.
like,
Modell.
was there
Modell,
like
sir.
was there ever a chance you had a chance to reach out with his dad? Did he ever give you some
Oh,
advice or
yeah.
no?
Yeah, most definitely. Like he used to be at all the games or whatever. He'll see me running the ball when I did get my time to shine in the game. He'll give me a little advice on like just go and get vertical. Can't nobody stop you when you get vertical. And he was like just telling me like I'm a hell of a running back.
Oh yeah, I mean just the fact that his son played there, and then he was over there to watch from a side, and then he gave you some pointers, bro. That's got to be nice to pick knowledge from some of the greats, right?
Yes, sir. It was a great experience. I can't lie to you.
Was there like coming into the draft? How many teams have you met with?
I talked to like 2 teams so far, but I got like a few emails from other teams or whatever. But I just talked to like 2 teams.
Oh, 2 teams in general. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm hoping that Frank kept you in mind, man. I hope he kept you in mind because I
yeah,
think, like you said, you learn a lot from that guy too, his dad. So his dad must have gave you some pointers, but maybe you're under the radar. Who knows?
yeah. Most definitely. Like I say, man, once I get an opportunity to get my feet in the door, the rest gonna be history.
Yeah. So when did you feel that the game got slower, like going into college, man?
Probably my sophomore year. We won the championship my freshman year, played against Penn State in the Cotton Bowl. I had like guys like Kenny Gainwell, Antonio Gibson, Patrick Taylor, Brady White, and Sean Dykes, all those other guys. They kind of already just showed me how well I've been on the sideline. It's just like from big experience, just seeing how big the game was and seeing how those guys prep themselves up for the game or whatever. So my sophomore year, I was already kind of hungry, like going to spring ball, and COVID came right around my sophomore year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we really ain't have a crowd or whatever. So I kind of picked up, and the game kind of just slowed down like my sophomore year. Like we ain't have no crowd. It just like basically like it was scrimmaging out there. You know what I'm saying? So I just took that in and ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, the COVID year had to be a challenging year for most of the guys, but like you said, you adjusted eventually, and then it became natural for you. But what other sports did you grow up did you grow up playing?
I played baseball, I played basketball, and football was my main thing. And I also ran track.
Okay, I mean, those are good backgrounds. I mean, especially if you want to be smart on your health. Some baseball players learn how to slide properly or do some stuff properly, and then you look at basketball; it's all about balance on your body and all that
Yeah.
rebound stuff. But so as far as all that, man, like when it comes down to like, okay, so can you share us with what changed in your play style the last season that has helped you develop your game?
Uh, when you said it, can you go into like a little deeper detail?
Oh, okay. Can you share us with something that has changed in your play style this last season that has helped you develop your game?
My patience. My patience was big because I was kind of like at one point in time, when I was in Memphis, they was telling me like how everything's supposed to go and like where the ball's supposed to go. But I got the Southern Miss or whatever, and it's kind of like just slowed down dramatically just because I seen how Frank Gore was doing it. Like he was just going out there having fun and playing his game. And I feel like I know when I was in Memphis, I kind of rushed a few runs and they'll stop me from scoring like the big play, like a big touchdown or whatever. So like I just take my patience.
Okay, at least you learn. At least he kind of gave you some pointers, and that's how you change your style of play. But what? So, I guess this is a very good question because you're entering the draft, and what style of offense fits your skill set best? What kind of running back do you consider yourself? A power back, a scat back, a third down back? Which one are you?
Uh, I'm more of a like I have power in my game, but I say I'm a scat back.
Okay, at least you got a little bit of mix, But I can
Yeah,
see why you would consider yourself a scat back, a little bit of a power back because you averaged almost 5 yards a carry last year.
yeah, and I'm good at third down also though. Great with pass blocking. I know who's my guy. I know who my other five linemen, who their guy's supposed to be, and I can just look at it.
Oh
So I
yeah,
can do it all actually.
absolutely. So, what was your favorite thing about playing for Southern Mississippi, man?
My favorite thing about playing for Southern Miss, mm, really just locking in with the guys down there. It's a whole lot of guys from Mississippi, building relationships with them, and really just having a new start.
Absolutely, it has to be fun not to go too far from your home state, and it's just not too
Yeah,
far. You're used to the environment, so it's something
yeah.
different.
It
So,
was a nice environment out there when I first made it out there, man. Just knowing a few of the guys and like majority of the guys, they really knowing me already of who I was, and just going down there, playing with Jaleel Clemens once again, you feel me? My high school teammate. And we had big goals on like trying to win our last year, because we went to Memphis together out of high school. And he left Memphis and went to Southern Miss. And I was like, man, you know what? We already won one championship together. Let's try it again.
absolutely, man. But I mean, so what was the difference when you played at Memphis compared to Southern Miss? Like, what was the environment difference when you were over there? Was it like kind of a little similar, or?
With Memphis, it was more, like just city wise, everything was moving way faster. And then I get to Hattiesburg, it was kind of a little slower.
Okay, yeah, because Memphis is a big city wise. Yeah, I can see where you're
Yeah.
coming from. It's
hmm
it's pretty interesting environment, I can say. But as far as your overall game, what was your best college tape that if NFL teams wanted to look at your best game, what would be the best tape they should look at?
From my career,
Yeah, like in your career, like one of the games that you played your best, and if the NFL team wanted to check it out, they would have to look into that game.
uh, I know like last season it'd be like South Alabama. That was probably like one of my best games or whatever. Uh, versus SMU, 2020. I had a good game that game. 2021. I was kind of like the backup running back or whatever. But like I say like man, they can check out me all around like from my whole career, like from special teams to running back. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like I had some
absolutely.
pretty solid games, like all those games, really.
Yeah, you sure are a dog, man. You play with heart out there. So why should NFL teams draft you, man? You have a chance to convince those 32 teams and say, hey, man, draft me because of what?
I feel like the NFL team should draft me because I'm a hard worker. I'm very coachable, uh, very respectful. I love the game of football. I want to know like all the in and outs. Uh, I bring the energy. I'm a big energy guy. I spread good energy around. I bring good energy to the table. Uh, I just feel like, man, I don't know how to say it, but like I'm just a chosen person, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can't go. I just can't. I don't know what to say. Like I just feel like,
You just gotta let them. You just gotta have an opportunity. Is what you're saying.
yeah, more definitely, more definitely.
I get where you're coming from, man. I mean, do you think track and field helped your development as a running back? And if so, can you share with us?
It most definitely did, especially like growing up, like when I was in the eighth grade, because that was my last time actually just running it, like eighth grade, and I say like I always stayed outside, like running and working out and stuff like this. So there was another part, cause another part that played in me playing running back. I used to be outside in the country where my mom stay, like running in boots and stuff like that. And like I say, once we get done doing all that running around in the neighborhood or whatever, we'll go to the front yard and play football.
Oh yeah, bro. So I guess this is a good one, man. If you had to choose to go against a top defense for a touchdown, who would it be, pass or present, man? If you had to choose one of the top defense,
To go to run against.
yeah, NFL,
Uh, Probably the Eagles.
the Eagles. Okay.
Yeah, the Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, last season's Eagles. Okay, yeah, that defense was something else, man. They gave Kansas City some fits in that Super Bowl.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's that insane, bro. The only team who came close to that playoff game was either the Rams, bro. The rest of them were getting demolished.
Yeah, more definitely, more definitely. I feel like if I can score on them, man, you know, it'll be. I wouldn't say just easy for every other team, but like those are two of the top teams, though. You know what I'm saying?
So, which NFL team that you grew up watching that you would love to play for, or does it not matter what team you go to?
Man, it don't matter what team I go to, man. I just be very, very thankful for the opportunity to play in the NFL because it's a lot of people's dreams, and you know, growing up, everybody want to go to the NFL, especially when you're playing like Pee Wee football or whatever. So, like, I just say, man, it'll be an opportunity and a blessing to play in the NFL for any team. But like growing up, I used to like Adrian Peterson. You know, he was my favorite running back and really my favorite player. And I used to like the Minnesota Vikings. And you know, once I played in the combo and we had like a little tour of the Dallas Cowboys stadium or whatever, it was my first time going to an NFL stadium. I kind of fell in love with it. So like, I love the Cowboys. Like, you know,
I do like how you brought up that player, Adrian Peterson. He's one hell of a good player. Like
yeah,
even as an Oklahoma fan, I've always liked them always for many years. But then you talked about other players in general, like some of the guys from the Cowboys, like you were bringing up. But here's another guy that you happen to have conversation with, man. Like I'm pretty sure Frank Gore's got to be up there too, right?
yeah, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Oh, definitely. Like it was Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, and I want to say my third running back was like Marshawn Lynch, who I used to grow up
Marshawn
watching.
Lynch, that's another good one right there.
Yeah,
I mean, physical, tough tackler. But then there's LaShawn McCoy too, another
yeah. I
good
used to like Shady McCoy. He came in like filth with me though for sure.
one. Oh yeah, dude. We can go on with a lot of these guys, but
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so how do you prepare for your upcoming games, and how do you break down the tendency when you face the defenses that you face?
Well, when I'm looking at the tendencies when I'm watching film, I'm just looking at like stances, who they have in on like first down, second down, third down, because you know that varies on like you might have your run stoppers on third down or just depending on what the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? They give a little scouts reports and stuff like that. I kind of read up on that. I make sure I take like good notes when it comes to film and basically just going back from my last game, seeing what did I kind of mess up on or what can I improve on. And I kind of bring it to like the new week of practice and, you know, make sure that because you know they'll be watching like the last games or the previous games that you already played. So I kind of like try to stay on that and try to correct everything that I have kind of messed up on in the past or like the past game or whatever.
Oh yeah, man. Like you kind of have a better preparation because I mean, I think how you have to adjust to, especially if they're going to be try to like stack the box a little bit, or at least what the tendency is going to be, and then it kind of gives you a better understanding of what you could do and not do in those plays.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So okay, so I guess why would you wear the number 0, bro? Like I just see you wear number 0. Like it's becoming a new number now for some athletes now. Everybody's allowed to wear 0 now.
So basically, I'm gonna just take it all the way back. When I first got to college, I was one to number 3, just because I had it in high school. But I kind of knew that I had to earn that number, and then it was kind of hard for me to get it just because we had our quarterback Brady White. He won number 3 at Memphis. So I want to say my sophomore year, I got number 2. I just wanted to get a single digit. I was talking to Coach Silverfield about, man, I just want a single digit number. What I got to do to get a single digit number, whatever. He just telling me like continue to work hard or whatever. And I had that number 2 for a minute. And, 2022 was my season that I had redshirted. So I had sat out a year from playing football or whatever. And I just was watching all the guys that were playing college football, NFL, and I just was like, man, you know what? This is how I want to apply myself when I do start back playing football, if I do get an opportunity to play. So we working out or whatever. I go to Coach Hall. I'm like, well, before I even committed to Southern Miss, I just was telling him, like, man, you know what? I'm going to be one of your best players, so I really want number 0 or number 1. I don't care which number it will be. Just give me 0 and 1, and I left it at that.
Guess you got to create your own number legacy in a way, and I guess it kind of makes it catchy. Like anytime I hear the number 0, people say it's 0 fear for me.
Yeah,
something like that, like kind of like that Pentagon wrestler, like settle metal.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, so as far as a football nickname, what would they call you in football? What's your nickname?
It always been like my number, or like they just called me Drake, Yeah,
Drake, I can see it now.
Yeah.
But that's your actual name too. It's kind of like a last name, if I'm being honest, the way it sounds like. So the way I pronounce it, it kind of just seems pronounced like how my brother's last name is also.
Yeah.
So do you have a touchdown dance celebration or no?
Man, I don't have no type of celebrations. I can't dance at all. It's a shame, man. I don't know how to dance at all. Like when I get in the end zone, I just be happy and just like turn over my brothers.
I guess you're more of a humble guy. I guess you kind of let it play itself.
Yeah.
Let's get to know you more on rapid fire and other stuff. So as far as like somebody like, okay, you're in the middle of nowhere. You got to pick between Burger King and McDonald's. What would you choose?
It depends on the time of the day, because Burger King, they got some good things in the morning, but I'll probably go with McDonald's.
Okay. Can't go wrong with it. PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm a PlayStation type guy.
Call of Duty or Madden?
Madden.
Okay. So outside of football, who are you as a person? Like, what's like your interests, hobbies, and all that other stuff?
Man, honestly, I'm a very chill guy. I like playing with my dogs or whatever, really taking care of my dogs. I play the game with the guys when I have time or when they're around them, you know what I'm saying? I love music. I love to go out to eat and just try new foods or whatever. But I'm really just a chill guy. Other than when I'm playing football or working out, training, I like training also, like doing drills and stuff. And like if I do have the opportunity to like help out with other kids or whatever, or other players that need help that play the same position that I play, I'm willing to just take my time out and do little things like that. But I'm a very chill guy for real.
Oh yeah, seemed like it. I mean, you come from a very state like Mississippi. It seems like there's a lot of good people that are very friendly. Because I was told people who come from Mississippi, they're either a lot of friendly people over there.
Yeah, we cool. We some cool people out here.
I heard they got the best fried chicken in that state. That's what I heard.
Man, it just depends on where you go to,
Or the sweet tea. Even the one guy, Cameron Young, told me that you guys have the best sweet tea or somewhere in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, like I say, it really just depends on who you go to though. Like you can get you some good homemade chicken if you was talking about that, you
That's what I
know.
was told. But
Yeah.
yeah, the soul food that I heard is good. But if you had to choose a celebrity, dead or alive, to have a meal with, who would it be?
Probably 50 Cent.
That's a good one.
Yeah, probably 50 Cent.
I mean, dude, like you can't go wrong with it. This is like just something out of the ordinary. But I guess if you had a dinosaur, who would be your favorite?
Uh, Probably a T-Rex.
Oh, T-Rex, man, they're dominate, man. They dominate their territories, man. Like
Yeah.
you guys. Um, yeah, dude. Like looking at the way you're playing, man. So all those years in college, what do you take away from going into the NFL that you need to improve on the most?
Uh, Probably just being like a little bit more explosive. Just being like a little bit more explosive, like knowing and kind of just knowing like I got good with like how the blocks and stuff were being set up, but you know, like in college, you know, everybody really ain't on the same level. So you might have a guy mess up right here, or he might lose his 1-on-1. You know what I'm saying? So just probably having like a little better vision and being like a little bit more explosive.
Yeah, I guess that's something you can always work on. I mean, every player, we all have certain weakness we can definitely improve on. But
Yeah.
how does the moment feel that you're going into the NFL, man? Does it just feel surreal or business as usual to you?
A little bit of both, man. It's an unbelievable feeling, you know, just knowing like I've been playing football all my life and it's finally up here to this point where it's finna like make or break, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy right now. Like I can't even believe it. And like with the draft coming on Thursday, man, it's just an unreal feeling.
Yeah, it has to feel like, bro, because you growing up as a kid, it had to be something you wanted to do, right? So it'd be
Yeah,
like,
most definitely, most definitely. And like I say, like just seeing like all my other dogs that I played with and they're in the league right now, man, it's just like my time is finally here.
oh yeah. So we all got backup plans, man. We always want to get ahead of the game. We know football is your priority, but what's your major and your backup plan?
I got my bachelor's degree in liberal studies. And with that, I know before I had left from Memphis, I had kind of like business and liberal studies. They had my degree on like a two-to-one degree. But what I want to do with it is like I want to be a businessman and I want to build like my own training facility. You know, just because like growing up, I never really just had no personal trainer where I can just go out here and get some good field work with, or a person that I can go out here and lift weights with. You know, you might ask your friends or whatever, but everybody doing their own thing or whatever. So I want to bring that back to my city just because I know like how much time I had off from football that I didn't put into it, and like I want to be able to like give the kids back at home an opportunity to stay out the streets and come train instead of getting in trouble.
Man, that's a good way to go with it, man. But I'm pretty sure you're going to have yourself an NFL career. So I think that's something that you can think of down the road. But I usually get this a lot from a lot of my guests. Sometimes from these prospects, sometimes they tend to send their they tend to sing along their team song or something. They're a little spiritual. Do you know the Southern Mississippi fight song or no?
Man, I don't know it. I don't know it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. I was so locked in when it was time to when we did win the games. Like, we won only one game last year, so we barely sung it. So I don't really know it for real, man.
Well, I guess Grandizer has the entire music, the entire way to say it. This is what they say. Southern Mississippi to the top. So lift your voice high, show them the reason why that Southern Mississippi spirit will never stop. Fight, fight, fight. And then it says, I guess, all the way banner. I guess that's what it is. But I don't know. Like sometimes some of the guests they tend to know their team song, but not all of them are gonna do it. But
Yeah,
you probably
I
don't know
do.
it right on your head
I
a little
do
bit. Huh?
remember like the last little part.
Go
We was
down.
fight. I remember that little part right there, but I don't really know it for real.
Fight. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess you got that. You got that, Grandizer, man. He did. He put a little effort, man. Come on, give him some credit for that. But okay, so we got a couple more. We got a couple more things. So common sense, and then we'll end it from here. How do you deal with a quitter on your guys' team during the circumstances? Like, let's say you guys are in the middle of a game, and sometimes leadership kind of factors into these guys, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like with that being said, it really depends on who it is. Like if I'm really close with them, like I try to at least have a type of bond with like all my teammates or whatever. But like dealing with a quitter, man, it really just depends on who he is and how close I am with him. If I know someone else that is close with him, I'll probably go to them. I'll probably go to the person that's trying to quit first and talk to him. But if he ain't really buying in what I'm trying to tell him, I go to a person that he's close to and kind of like just go give him some words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood. But if I'm close to him, man, it's brother to brother talk. I got to keep it real with you. Like, we ain't come here to quit at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to go because we all in here for something. We trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying?
I can respect that, man, because we're all here to win. But man, put that aside for those other people. It's like, man, dude, and why are you here? It's like,
yeah, because like you gotta always like when a person get into that point, you gotta always remind them of what their why is. Like, what's your why? Like, why did you come to college football to come play?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people in this journey kind of forget their why. And I feel like once you remember your why, you go remember why you out here playing ball, and then boom, it's gonna be just like that. You go flip the switch.
Yeah, you're right about that. So even during the circumstances, how do you deal with a teammate that's not on the same page with another teammate? How do you diffuse a situation as a leader? Like, let's say just one of those bad series and all that stuff, and they're just at a heat of the moment. It's very emotional. The game can get out of hand. How do you deal with that situation?
Man, I basically just tell them, we got fans sitting right behind us, and everything being televised. So I always remember that you never want anybody in the stands to say he's that and he's this type of kid just because of one of the actions that they had saw or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to tell people have control of yourself and control what you can control.
Okay, at least you kind of like make sure it's diffused and all that because you want to make sure they're on the same page and just move on to the next play. So
yeah, because like I done been in those situations. Well, I ain't gonna say I've been in them, but I done seen those situations like first sight. Like, it get ugly, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody feelings up in it, you know what I'm saying? You got guys that's on the sideline or whatever. You got guys that's on the field, and it can be a bit confusion if you don't have kind of no type of control on your teammates. And they see when I approach a team, they see me as a stand-up guy and I'm a leader. So if I do speak, I'm not just speaking for anything. It got to mean something.
absolutely, man. So okay, so you guys are down by multiple touchdowns going to halftime. What would be the pep talk to get this team to come from behind to win this ball game? You got 2 quarters left, man. Anything's possible.
Man, let's go, man. Like, we ain't finna stop until the clock says 0-0-0. I mean, it's a lot of things I want to say, but I can't really say it. But like, it's just time to go. Like, we can't quit. Why would we give up? Anything bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like, just keep the faith and just keep pushing, play for play.
Oh yeah. So okay. So what was the advice that you got from NFL players that kind of reached out to you and gave you some advice? What was the best advice they gave you so far?
Man, the biggest thing, I got people in the NFL or whatever, but the biggest thing was like just be confident in everything that you do. Carry yourself with a high demeanor. Don't be just slacking around and stay on time and be accountable. And the bigger thing was like being in the draft or whatever, just stay out the way because it's so easy to get caught up in something, and then that's the reason why a lot of guys kind of don't make it because they get caught up at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing was just like really just stay out of the way, keep the faith, and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to answer at least a couple more questions from. I guess I'll answer one from Grandizer. Rodrigues Clark, where did you say you get your field vision and how you see the field and your timing and to hit and pick that lane?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Like, okay, so how do you like you know how for a running back they have to look at the vision of where they're gonna run those holes and lanes? You know how you
Yeah,
guys have to look at the hole and just run in there? Like
yeah.
what's the type like how do you like just run from that lane? Because you know you have to have that vision to see where to go.
Well, like I say, it's certain plays that I already kind of can tell like where you gonna be, and then just looking at the defender also. So like if you got that outside linebacker, if we running like power, if the outside linebacker stand on the outside, you know the ball go for sure. You got to be a little patient, but you know for sure that the ball go hit inside. But if that outside linebacker loops in and try to crash the inside play, that's when you bounce it or whatever.
Okay, I guess we'll answer this last question from Papa J, and then we'll end it from here. But I'll at least put one more last question from me in general. One more to get to know you question. If a movie were made about your life, which actor would you want to portray you, and what musician would you want to do on your soundtrack?
That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't thought about that one yet. I ain't never thought about being in the movie.
I think Shady McCoy would probably play a good role of you.
Shady McCoy?
Yeah, you guys kind of have a little bit of a similar look.
For real?
In a way, it seems like he would fit well on your character.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That ain't no bad choice though.
Yeah, and what would the soundtrack be, man?
Probably NBA YoungBoy One Shot.
Okay. All right, so we're on to the last one. I definitely appreciate your time and all that, but let's say you have an opportunity to let's say you have an opportunity to maybe go to San Francisco. What would you tell Frank Gore in contact? What would you tell him to convince the Niners to sign you, man, if you had a chance to communicate with him?
First off, I'll probably just tell him I appreciate him, for giving me the little advice that he gave me when he was around, when his son was around me. But honestly, man, I just go to work and let everything play out how it's supposed to, and keep my faith in God. Without God, I wouldn't be able to do none of it.
Okay, so for everybody else, man, this is the running back from Southern Mississippi, Rodrigues Clark, man. They call him Drake Clark, man. You guys definitely go check him out. So tell everybody where they can find your social media platform.
Y'all can look me up on Instagram at 4AI_KOOL. And I'm on Twitter R_Clark 28.
You're on Twitter and all the other stuff, so it's got to be kind of good for you, man, because whatever happens from here, bro, whether you end up in the Bay or those other 31 teams, man, I'm definitely going to root for you to succeed. And if for some reason you end up in San Francisco, maybe we can make a second appearance, man. We got to make it happen, man.
More definitely, man.
Maybe you can sneak me in Frank Gore if you want.
Yeah. More definitely.
All right, man. And for everybody else, man, thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm definitely going to cheer for Rodrigues Clark to succeed at the next level. That's all I got to say, man.
Well, definitely, I appreciate it. And I appreciate